He made sure that nobody would find me.
If any case were to need answers, it's this one.
One took the other one's life and then took their own life.
I don't know whether you killed her on accident or killed her on purpose, but you did not have a right to take her family's closure away.
He was talking on the phone and said, you know, she's dead, I killed her. You'll never find her body. As he was still on the phone, he shot himself with a shotgun.
There's another one a step or two down below that. Can you do that one? What's that? REM pod. Whoa.
Did that say Jason?
Yeah.
Well, that just happened. All right, Pam, so what can you tell me about the history of this house that we're investigating tonight?
Well, I grew up probably a half a block away. We used to play in that area, and there was an elderly lady she was the first resident that, you know, I became aware of, and I used to spend time on the porch with her. She moved into the house in 1947.
Oh, wow.
And I think 1992 is probably when she passed away, but her first name was Loretta. She told me at one point, sitting on the front porch with her, that her husband had been cutting grass right in front of the house, and he had dropped dead of a massive heart attack right in front of her, right at the bottom of the steps when you go up into the house.
So now, the people that moved in a little bit later in time after her and her husband, who were they? What can you tell me about that couple?
So in 1992, a gentleman by the name of Kevin O'Shea, he purchased the house from the state. I'm not sure if he lived there, but he rented it out, and like I said, over the years, I think there were probably 3 or 4 renters before, you know, James and Kristen moved in. And from my understanding, James and Kristen had lived there for about 2 years.
Okay.
Before the tragedy, you know, and then the tragedy happened, so.
And it was terrible what ended up happening to them. And how exactly did that all transpire?
She had a child from a previous relationship. And about the time that this happened, I want to say maybe he was 5. And then they had a little baby that might have been maybe a year or 2 that James and Kristen had together. But after, I guess after the baby was born, that things kind of went downhill in the relationship, and I heard that there was a lot of fighting, arguing, and she had moved in with a friend who lived in Martins Ferry in an apartment complex. And she took the kids with her, and he wanted to speak with her about, you know, trying to get back together. They think that perhaps when he went to talk with her, that maybe it kind of got a little physical. And they have footage from surveillance footage of him carrying her out of the apartment complex, slung over his shoulder to his car. And after that, that's the last actual footage they have. Whether she has passed away at that point or she was still alive, nobody knows. It was kind of determined that, or speculated that he took her, Kristen, back to their house. After that, Nobody knows, exactly what happened to her body. They've never found it, as of today.
And so it wasn't too long after he was captured on video that he seen himself basically on the news.
The police started kind of looking at him. He in turn started to panic, and that's when he admitted it. I think the story went that he was on the phone with, I don't know if it was one of his relatives or one of her relatives, but he was talking on the phone and said, she's dead, I killed her. You'll never find her body, and I don't want to live. So as he was still on the phone, he shot himself with a shotgun.
Okay, so, and you mentioned he had told his relative that no one would ever find her body.
Yes.
Kristen's body. And that is still true to this day. She has never been.
Yes, they've never found her body, which is quite sad.
And would you be willing to give us a walk through the house right now?
Absolutely. Okay.
This would have been the room that we're standing in, the room where he actually shot himself in the head with a shotgun.
Yes. These pictures were taken January 12th, 2008. And he had committed suicide October 3rd, 2006.
So that was a year and a half.
Yes. Before
After.
the owner. My relative was not the owner,
Right.
but the person that had owned the house didn't do anything.
Just let it sit there for a year and a half.
Just left blood and carnage all over the walls of this place.
Yes.
And you think about the energy that leaves behind, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's his remains.
Well, that's what I was
Really
hoping
left it
that.
to soak into the atmosphere, the structure itself.
You might even think I actually stand in here. If you stand here, you can see
up
some.
here on the
Yeah,
right.
I just saw
Yeah.
that. See it? Oh gosh, look at all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that blood or is that...
Well, yeah, probably
it's
that.
also-
Just
That's blood, and I think it's maybe some of the buckshot.
see, you got that.
Anywhere that's hanging down would definitely be tissue.
You alright?
Something just now, I swear, something just now touched the back of my leg. It felt like something just touched the back of my leg. I've got these tight pants on, and I'm not going to feel something like that unless it's something. It almost felt like a bug was in my pants. Have you ever been touched in here?
Yes,
Where at?
upstairs
Okay. Yeah.
on the shoulder.
I wonder if that was James, though, because we were right here talking about how we're looking at his blood or his sort of...
And you had never really noticed this right here before.
No, I just now, the way the reflection of his camera. My head focus has not always, but the
That's
main thing
literally
was right there.
Tissue and nicks from buckshot.
Yeah.
Well, that just happened.
This is, I don't know if you want to kind of leave this out laying around.
Yeah, and that is the newspaper from when it happened. You can see
Yes.
this is the family because they never found her body. And so this is actually the newspaper from 2006 asking people for information about what might have happened to her. This could be a great trigger object tonight.
Now, what exactly has happened, just to kind of reiterate, anything paranormal-wise that's happened in here?
Like I said, we did hear a lot of whispering. I had an EVP that said, now of course during this I don't know exactly what questions I ask, but I got a clear EVP that says that was cool.
Fade out.
Yeah.
Then fade out.
Yeah. I don't know. Like you had said, it could be something that was residual. I thought I heard somebody say my name, like a breathy Pam. And I also said when I was upstairs and we were talking about my shaking legs, I said, my legs are shaking, and then right after I say that, you hear an EVP say, shake.
My legs are shaking. My legs are shaking.
There's a very weird, like, sense of energy, like, right up here. Not at the top of the stairs, but kind of right here by
It's
this.
very odd that you say that because I have a picture, and do you want to see it? It's 2 pictures. This is when I heard the noise. I don't know which one wants to see it. I'll start with you. Like that black spot right there.
What is that?
And then I thought, well, was there paint spilled or something? But then if you look like right here at the bottom, how it's like a clear.
Mm-hmm.
But then see how it looks like it's darker right there, like something's coming up the steps.
Hazy like, yeah.
Yeah.
Should we make our way upstairs?
Let's walk upstairs here.
Just be careful. Oh, it feels different up here.
It's a little weird. Yeah, like right here is where I was feeling it.
That's one of the places that I had a freezing cold. Was right inside that doorway. And
Really?
Yes, and what we thought was like, okay, old windows. Maybe it was breezy because of the windows.
Sure.
You know, sometimes on the steps you can get a breeze that comes up. So it just seemed like standing in that doorway. And I think from my understanding, that was one of the kids' bedrooms.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe both little boys stayed in there. And I think that was the bathroom where you're at. But the experience I had with the shaking was in here.
So in your opinion, do you believe that James and Kristen are still here?
I think James is definitely. Not too sure about Kristen. I'm not too sure, but I think the most prominent figure is James.
So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope that our outcome is tonight?
I guess the absolute bottom line is to see if we can ask questions to see maybe if anybody will come through to let us know where Kristen is at.
Okay.
So her family and her children can have closure.
I think that'll be our main goal for
Yes.
tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Ari, could you maybe share with us some of your personal experiences that you've had here inside the house?
Yeah, I knew I'd been in here a couple times before and heard the background of it, and Pam invited me to come in with her and her son to do an investigation. And that evening there was several very weird things that went on and were seen and or heard and felt. Voices, orbs, as well as a door slamming.
Whereabouts would you say is the most active or the most charged?
I would say for what we experienced right here in the room that we're in, which is the old kitchen,
Okay.
and the hallway by just inside the front door where the incident took place.
It's safe to say we can understand why the front room area would be very, very active. Why do you think the kitchen here would be
That
active?
I am not sure. Maybe because of all the underlying pipes and stuff giving off energy for them to feed off of. I mean, that very well could be it. Or maybe he spent a lot of time in here, when he was alive.
Thinking back to the previous interview, there was mention of an older lady that lived here. Do you feel that you've ever come in contact with her?
It's very possible. I mean, with some of the things that went on, yes, very possible. It may be her as well.
Okay. And we've also, of course, acquired the knowledge that the victim has not been found. Do you think quite possibly she could still be here on the property?
I mean, anything's possible. Very much so. She could be here as well. That may be what's giving the negative vibe is both of them.
Yeah, conflicting.
Conflicting spirits that one took the other one's life and then took their own life or suspected to take the one's life, then took their own life when the heat was on from the authorities.
All right, so we are on our way back to the house, and there is a woman that we are bringing with us to walk through the house with us. Her name is Molly, which that's not her real name, by the way. She doesn't use her real name, but we'll get into that in a second. Molly, since she was very young, has had some very interesting experiences where she has been able to learn things that other people don't know. She's been able to see what she perceives as spirits, and I've seen on many occasions, because I've known her for many years, where she has not only blown my mind, but the minds of people around me, of knowing things that she should not be able to know. One of the reasons I trust her more is because she's not in it for the notoriety. She doesn't want her face on camera. We're going to be shooting around her as to not get her face on camera. She's not in it for attention. We're going to be using her audio, and we're going to be walking through in an attempt to get answers in this case, because if any case were to need answers, it's this one. And I feel like this is the best case to bring her along on to do a walkthrough. If she picks up on something, that's great, and we can pursue that lead. But if she doesn't, that's fine too. When we get there, we're going to be going straight in to see what she picks up on. We're going to walk through the house here. Molly's going to see what she picks up on, and we are going to basically see if we can get any leads on whatever is going on here. So, that's good. All right, let's go. Wait. I'm rolling. All right.
Wow. My chest is really tight. There's a blonde-haired girl in here. She's at the top of the stairs. She's not very old. I'd say she's 25 maybe. She's motioning you to go upstairs.
Should we go up there? You want to both go up there, or you want just me?
She wants you.
She wants me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm coming upstairs. You should be good right there. That way you don't lose her audio on the mic pack. If there's anybody here, there's a lady down there at the bottom of the stairs who can talk to you. Will you tell her things about you?
She's saying she's afraid. She keeps saying, I just can't leave. I just can't leave.
Well, why can't you leave?
She's asking you if you can help her leave.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you leave. But you know what we have to do before we can help you leave.
She's saying nobody's going to find me.
That's what we're trying to do. Why don't you think we're going to find you? Why don't you think anybody's going to find you?
He made sure that nobody would find me.
You're freaking me out. Do you want to go down to the basement?
Sure. Can't be any scarier than here.
Now, Molly, nobody has said anything to you about this house, right?
No, I don't know anything.
You don't know anything at all. Just to clarify for everybody that is listening to what you're saying, just so that they understand.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Just so you can see that. And be careful on this bottom step because it's a little bit loose.
There's a lot of people in here.
Really?
Yes. More than you realize. There's an older man in here with a white shirt on and a black suit. There's a little boy upstairs that's about 3 years old. There's a woman here that's older. She's about 75 or 80 with gray hair. And they're all kind of just standing here watching you.
So you said that they'll never find her. Do you feel like she's still here, or do you feel like she went somewhere else?
Her spirit is here, but not her body, so she can't connect the two. She doesn't know where she's going. She's very confused.
So you don't think her body is here?
I don't feel her body here.
I don't know how you connect with them, but is she able to tell you maybe if she's not here where she is?
She doesn't know where she is.
She doesn't, okay.
I think whoever did her in did it from the back of her. She didn't know where she was. I think he choked her and took her someplace dark. But I keep seeing water. Well, this man down here has a white suit, a white shirt with a black suit. Looks like maybe from the 40s.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The other woman that's with him has got gray hair. She's older. She's a little box of me. She just kind of standing here. They did something here in the basement, and it wasn't legal. So I'm not sure if they were making gin or they were doing something else, but I think they're afraid for you to find out what they had done.
Do you want to walk upstairs just to see if there's
Sure.
anything that
Sure.
way, you know?
Sure.
Go first.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to walk into some of these other rooms here?
Yeah, let's just see what's in here. Well, this house is really old. I still think there's a well or a cistern here close by. And I don't think she really went very far before he did her in. I really don't.
Right.
Because I'm feeling her body up here for some reason. How about if we go upstairs?
We can.
If I can, like, shake this
What
off.
was that? Did you hear that?
Upstairs.
If I can, yeah, somebody walking.
Yeah, and it sounded like something was thrown up there, like
Yeah,
a rock.
that roll.
Hold on. That would have been, okay, in relation to where we were, it would have been
Over
in this
there,
room right
right.
here.
Okay, she's brought us up here to look out this window for some reason. See, I don't know what this was like when this house was first built. Okay, she's confused. She doesn't know what you're doing or.
Now here's a question. If there was someone that were to have passed on after her, would she be able to be aware of that? Or do you think that's something that she would not know?
I don't think she knows. She seems very confused. She seems like she can hardly see anything other than the darkness. That's why she's so scared. She's so sad. She can't even go out the door. She's so sad. She's afraid. She doesn't know where she's at. I think when she looks out the windows or out the door, it's dark.
Okay.
So she doesn't know her way. What if we had a light at the door? Would that help? She's saying maybe.
A light at the door?
The light at the door.
Okay.
All right. Well, is there anywhere else you wanted to walk in here before we?
We're good.
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
It's okay with you.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Right.
this camera is going, or REM pod is going off. That was
Hello?
weird. Dude, that was weird.
It's got a flashlight, man.
Help.
That sounded female.
Let's sit.
What is it? I can't hear.
I should just over there behind the GoPro. I'll let you know if it's
How can we help you?
Kristen, are you here with us?
Kristen, can you just say yes or no if you're here, Kristen?
Yes. I heard.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I'm getting static, like that charge feeling right now. It's a pleasure meeting you, Kristen. Was it you that touched the device right here in the center of the room? If so, could you do it again? Could you do it again, please?
What's the name of your husband? And are you here?
Silent. Dude, it went silent. I've got cold chills really bad.
Yeah. My eyes are starting to kind of well up a little. What happened to Kristen? What happened to Kristen? Just making a note that's been 6.
What?
Whoa, what happened?
Something was like tickling my arm.
Yeah, that is a cold spot.
Oh god, that was weird. I've never felt.
Who did that? Who touched Dave? Dude, I feel like around my legs right now. It's like a chill cold. It's a different type of cold. Kristen, Kristen, do you know what happened to you? Are you aware? Kristen, you are free to talk to us. You are not bound by anyone else here. You have every right and the ability to talk to us. What happened to you, Kristen? Kristen, we want to talk to you. We'd like to help you, Kristen.
Kristen, you're allowed to speak.
Kristen, we can feel you. We know you're here. Pam sent us in here. She allowed us in here because she trusts us. We want to help you, Kristen. We know what happened to you is undoubtedly bad. We want to try to help you get peace, find peace. All four of us feel pulled into this house because of you, Kristen. Let us help you. Help us help you. Do you know where he hid you? Kristen, do you know where he hid you? Mark that. There's something there. Can you say it loud?
Something in the corner behind me here.
Can you say it louder, Kristen? Where did he hide you? As loud as you can.
Wait, don't move. Is there someone right here in this doorway?
Oh, that just said that's me.
Kristen, is that you? Whoa, another sound. There's something moving over here, guys. Can you move something for me? Can you move something for me and let me know that it's you, Kristen? Can you knock something over for me?
Whoa.
That said wait.
She's allowed to do whatever she wants.
Kristen, if we put a light, a very bright one at the door.
Did she say I'll leave?
She said, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Would you like it if we at least try to help you by putting a light at the door? We're more than willing to help you, Kristen.
Kristen, I want to show you something. If we ask you a question, yes or no, you can walk right up to this and just do that, and we'll know that you're here. Kristen.
Whoa.
What was that?
Did you just move, Steve?
Over here?
Yeah.
I moved my foot slightly.
Do it again. That's not what I heard.
Okay.
There was someone coming down these stairs, guys. I got chills. Whoa.
What was that?
Whoa.
What was that? There's a device right there on the goal post. You still there, Ryan?
Yeah.
Can you touch that antenna?
That was loud and that was creepy. That was really loud and really creepy.
Have you two reconciled?
No.
Oh.
That was so clear.
That's creepy. James, where did you put Kristen? We want to know, and we want to know now.
Dude, that's charged. It just amped it back up.
Whoa.
Did that
Whoa,
say
whoa.
Jason?
It said something. I couldn't make it out.
Yeah.
He said
That was
Someone said it.
he said we put her.
Where's that, James? We couldn't hear you, man. Where did you put Kristen?
Wait, listen.
What was that?
Upstairs. Wait, listen.
What was that?
Upstairs. Wait, listen.
What was that?
Upstairs.
James or Kristen, whoever's here, come down here.
Because guess what, James? You did not have the right to take her away from her family. I don't know whether you killed her on accident or you killed her...
You're a coward.
I don't know whether you killed her on accident or killed her on purpose, but... you did not have a right to take her family's closure away. By whatever it is you said, putting her in a place they'd never find her.
Where is it?
James, do you regret doing it?
Jesus Christ. Something just like brushed its fingertips down my arm right here.
You got touched in the same spot.
Yeah, I was literally standing right here like that. I felt fingertips come around the side of my arm.
That's what I felt when I was standing here.
Who just touched Ryan? I did.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Was that you, Kristen? Did you touch Ryan?
He did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
James?
definitely nasty.
Why are you touching me? You know, you could have been fessing up, being a man, and telling him where you put Kristen, or at least giving her body...
I think they just said Kristen.
Or at least giving her body to her family, but instead you hide her, you lie about it, you tell her family that they'll never find her, and then you blow your head off with a shotgun.
You know who does that? A coward.
I came in here and I wanted to slightly feel sorry for both parties, but you know what? The more and more I try, the more and more I can't.
Like my right side is 15 degrees colder than my left. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Is it colder down there though?
It's not doing anything yet. I can feel it. It's like a radiating, like a real brisk cold feeling.
Do you want to do to us what you did to Kristen? Do you want to invite Pam in here and see if she can get things stirred up?
Yeah.
For a few?
Could be a good catalyst.
Yeah. Let me set this here.
Let's see.
Yeah, that should be. It's dropped almost a whole degree.
Yeah.
We're gonna go get Pam.
Pretty direct answers
Yeah.
in there. I mean, that energy was pretty intense too.
It was. It was
so
weird.
because it just like stopped.
Yeah. And you know what's strange is that you got touched. Rewinding back in the evening, Dave got touched. And literally not 5 minutes in, when we got here, I got touched.
You alright?
Something just now, I swear, something just now touched the back of my leg. It felt like something just touched the back of my leg.
We're going to go get Pam, who's in the car out here, so hopefully Pam can get some things stirred up in there because it's starting to cool down and get a little quiet, so let's see what happens.
Just us.
I'm gonna talk really loud so
so you can hear me. Hi, Kristen. Hi, James. I'm Pam. You know who I am. I'm back. I was here in January and made some contact with you. Are you willing to come talk to me?
Say I have.
Or maybe even get some answers as to where James, or to where your body's at. Because we really would like to help you. I think that would be awesome for your family to finally give you a resting place and to give them closure, especially for your 2 sons. You're more than welcome to come sit with me.
Here, let me try this. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
It won't hurt you. All we want to do is talk. We're not here to hurt you.
Whoa.
What?
There's movement over here. Hello?
If somebody is scaring Kristen from coming in here and talking to us, you no longer have control over her. Kristen, you don't have to be afraid anymore.
James, did you intend to kill Kristen, or was it an accident?
Accident.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
Holy crap.
That was direct. That was awesome.
Even if it was an accident, James, I still have a hard time trying to understand why you would cover it up, why you would tell her family that they're literally not going to find her, and then why you'd shoot yourself in the head with a shotgun.
Doesn't sound like an accident.
It just doesn't make sense.
Can you throw something again like you did upstairs? Why don't you do that again?
If you want us to... I'm going to move this closer to you here. If you want us to leave... If you want us to leave, just do this. And we'll leave.
Someone did it before, so we always know you can...
Whoa, Steve.
Whoa, what's that?
EDI just went off.
Oh, wow.
Are you coming down the steps to sit with
What
me?
are the top lights?
The blue?
Yeah.
Was it because he was
Like
biased?
like the blue?
Yeah.
Steve.
That's
I
the
just said Steve.
EMF.
EMF just went off.
Go put your camera by it again.
Oh, it's freaking cold over here. This is crazy cold.
I had to have picked that up on my
It's not the
action
camera.
cam. No.
Dude, come over and feel how freaking cold it is over here. This was not this temperature when I was just over here. Feel how cold that is, man.
Yeah, that is crazy cold.
It is chilled cold. It's like a stinging chill, like Arctic cold.
Yeah.
Please come down.
Hello?
Please come talk to me.
James, was that you?
I feel that cold air coming through, dude. Right past my left hand.
Yeah.
Hello?
What about the little boy that's upstairs? Do you want to come downstairs and play?
Say Ryan.
I know we're focusing on James and Kristen, but is there anybody else here that wants to talk to us? Mrs. Hannah, are you here? I was a little girl and I lived across the street, and I used to come visit you and we'd sit on the porch. Do you remember those days? You told me this story about how your husband passed away. Can you tell my friends how he passed away? Or where he passed away?
Is there anyone here that can hear my voice? I am here to talk to anyone and everyone who wants to communicate.
Good enough, I think.
Nope. What? The light's up on 360.
Ooh, okay. Let me come over here.
Yes, it's red. That's green. Hello?
We can see you making that go off. Thank you. My stomach.
Okay. You bring it around to this side? Okay. All right.
Very cool. Whoa.
There we go. So all the way around.
Thank you.
That is one way we can know that you're here. That's what these little devices, these pieces of equipment are for.
There's another one a step or two down below that. Can you do that one? What's that?
REM pod.
Oh, wow.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Come this way. Sorry. That's so cool.
Kristen, we're here to help you. We're trying to help you get closure.
And it sounded like I almost heard a male voice say Kristen.
Can you tell me why you killed her? Can you tell me why you did it?
That was very cool. We're gonna put another one over there.
Don't mind me.
Is that the rim?
That's the REM.
Can you try one of the other ones now?
where you're buried. She tried to help you find out what James did to you. You know, Mikey's older now. Mikey's like in his 20s now. He's a man. James, he lost both his mom and dad.
Hi.
James, he lost both his mom and dad because of you. You killed her. And you killed yourself. And you covered up where she is. Whoever did know is either long dead or sworn to secrecy. I keep seeing lights over here. Someone's here with us. Yeah.
What? I just heard that you did, right? Yeah. Whoa. I just heard it behind me, too.
Hello? Easy now. You just startled us.
What? I just heard that you did, right? Yeah. Whoa. I just heard it behind me, too. What? I just heard that you did, right? Yeah. Whoa. I just heard it behind me, too.
Feel the coldness on your back.
All around me too. You startled us. We can't see you, so I mean that's why we kind of reacted the way we did.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is that you, Kristen? If it's you, Kristen, can you touch the top device? Has that different colors on it, the red, yellow, and green, and orange.
Let us know that you're here, if that's you, Kristen.
Does anybody else know where you buried her, James? Does anybody else know where she is?
What?
I've been asking you questions. Who is this? Is this Kristen or is this James or is this somebody else? Is this the little boy? Or is this the old couple?
Run around.
Well, that's creepy. Right before he said turn around, I feel like there's someone standing right to my right. Like all the hair on my right side is standing up, like the back of this arm right here. I'm not gonna turn around.
To that.
To what?
You're old.
You're old. Are you getting mad? Who are you? Tell me who this is. What's your name? What's your name?
We're gonna have to go here soon.
Our time here's winding down.
Give us a message. If it's Kristen Anderson, Give us a message for your kids. Kristen, is your body down here? Are you buried down here?
Leave. Leave.
That's not
For
enough.
good?
Leave for good? Why do we want to leave for good? What's it like over there on the other side? Is it dark? All you can see is me, and you can hear my voice, echoing but distant. Is there something else out there? Listening to me?
Yeah.
That's creepy. Is it something that can hurt me? Is it something that wants me? Should I be afraid of this thing hearing me? Or this person? Should both Jason and I be afraid?
Kristen, we're gonna have to go, unfortunately. We really want to help you.
We're not sure when we're going to be able to come back. Even if we can come back.
This is your chance. So one last time, where can we find your body?
I will tell you, I had probably about a minute and a half to 2 minutes ago, I was covered in I don't know if it was static or cold or both, but it was like the hair stood up and
Right when you
sounded like no just now. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what to see on the video. At what point it appeared as if I had gotten like the shivers.
Oh God! Wow. Sorry. You want to redo that? Yeah.
Who knows, maybe one day people will find out where Kristen's buried.
Yeah.
Maybe one day they'll discover exactly what happened to her, but unfortunately, unless it's in our EVPs, I don't think we solved the case tonight.
It's a long shot. It's like we said when Dave and I are down here, so there's a good chance we don't know if we'll ever get to come back in here again to follow up and help her more, try to help her more. You know.
But I don't know. All I know is the sun's coming up.
It's time for us to hit the road. We're back here. Jason and I came back to the haunted house of tragedy, and there is a lot of unfinished business from our investigation. When we walked through with Molly, we were upstairs and she said that she felt we needed to come back and we needed to try and help Kristen move on. And she said the best way to do that was to set up a light, a bright light, by the front door.
She doesn't know where she's at. I think when she looks out the windows or out the door, it's dark.
Okay.
So she doesn't know her way. What if we had a light at the door? Would that help? She's saying maybe.
And then from there, we can try and help guide her out of here, because she said it's dark. She said that she can't see where she is and she doesn't know how to get out, and that a bright light would help her find her way out of the house. So I decided that I was going to try and bring the brightest light that I could find. And let me show you the light that I brought here. So I borrowed this from the former West Virginia penitentiary. They were kind enough to let me use this. It is actually a former searchlight that went on the roof of the penitentiary. And we're going to turn this thing on and see if we can get a bright enough light to help her move on. All right, so the light is on. We're gonna walk through the house. We're gonna go from the basement up, and we're gonna do our best to try and hopefully help Kristen or whoever's here. The whole time I'm gonna be talking to them, telling them to move to the light that is at the door, follow the bright light, and Pam has brought a Bible that she thinks might specifically be relevant to Kristen, because it is a mother's Bible. Yes. And of course, Kristen was the mother of 2 children. It's the mom's devotional Bible. So she's going to try and use that to specifically target Kristen, while we also try and help out whoever might be here, help them move out of this house and get out of this basically pit of sadness that they found themselves in, that this house has become for them. So we want to help end their tragedy. So let's move to the basement. All right. So first of all, I wanted to say, if anyone's down here in the basement, any former residents, anybody that died here, anybody who feels trapped here or stuck here, we were told that if we put a bright light by the door that you'd be able to follow that out of here, that you would be able to find your way to peace. And we wanted to give you that opportunity. So please go upstairs. There's a bright light by the door, and please just walk past that bright light that you see up there. Please try and move past it and get out of the house so you can find peace.
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Which I think there were some spirits crushed, as we all know what happened in the house.
Mm-hmm. The little boy, Kristen, James, anybody that can hear me, we want to give you all the opportunity to move on and escape the tragedy that had befallen you in this house, and to try and find some semblance of peace past what happened to you. Because that part of your life is over and it's time to move on.
Okay. This one I want to kind of gear more towards Kristen. He tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. He gently leads those that have young. So I know she was the mother of 2 young children, so I thought that more appropriate, that he will, like it says, kind of guide those that have young. So
yeah. And anyone that is here on this floor, Kristen, James, I know James, this is specifically where you ended up taking your life, and there's a lot of people that are going to think ill of you for what you did. And I know you're probably very remorseful for what you did, and all the trouble and sadness that you caused, and all the tragedy that you caused. So we also want to give you the opportunity to move on, to move past that light and find peace wherever that is or whatever that is. So go straight towards that bright light that we've placed in the door and find the peace and happiness that you deserve.
Even the darkness is not dark to you, and the night is as bright as the day. Darkness and light are alike to you. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
Yeah, this will be the last room that we were in, and of course, we want to thank you for anyone who allowed us into this house. We hope that you are no longer listening to us talk. We hope you've moved past that light and moved on. 'Cause that's the most important thing. There's no reason to stay here anymore. Whatever you're holding on to, whatever you're stuck on, it's time to move past it. Because staying in this house is not gonna save you.